based on the year-to-date information. Going into fiscal year 21, a 9,500 increase, roughly about 1.85%, mostly related just to some personal services. And I'm going to go into personal services right now. There is just some allocation items. Purchase services here. So if you recall, sorry, here we go. So here's the FTE that's for budget and finance. You have myself and assistant director that's budgeted 100% FTE. In the past, there also was another accountant and appointed clerk that were all 100%, but there will be some allocation changes, and this really is based on a new position, this business operations manager. So basically with the chief account position, if you recall, in the water department, there was an accountant that was 100% water. That position is no longer around. When that person retired, that position was absorbed by the department, and as such, my chief accountant is doing the duties of the water accountant was doing. So we're allocating a portion of that expense over to the water department. So you'll see that in the water department side for administration. And also the business operations manager is being allocated to the water department because that person's also been helping with the water processes. I took over supervision of the water billing process since January of 2019, and through that time there's a lot of things that we're addressing with the water billing processes and things like that, and we're slowly but surely we're improving those processes, and with the new system they should be a lot better. But the business operation manager is helping out with those items, helping out with the processes and workflows for the new ERP system. So that person is being allocated as well to the resources. And then the clerk, who does a lot of the banking, reconciliations and entries, that was being for the water accounts, that was all being done by the water accountant. So now those banking items are being done by the clerk, so there's an allocation of that clerk to the water department as well too, because so basically it's kind of like a zero net sum. So basically with the expense of that water accountant and the allocations to the water department, it's really a net sum zero. So because all the duties of that particular position is still being done, it's just being absorbed by some positions in my department. So that's why we have a difference of allocation, where in prior years, most of the people in my department were 100% allocated budget and finance. So that's what you see there. Any questions on the personal services items? So going forward then with the non-personal services. Okay, so I have contractual services, which is budgeted for $95,000, and $92,000 of that is the annual audit for Plant Moran. And then we have a couple of miscellaneous items in here for some tech support for ERP and MML Advisory Council. So some of the fees for MML come out of my department, so that's what that $500 is for, which is well spent because I get emails every day from MML regards to the epidemic or pandemic. So that's going on there. And then I kind of left this $2,500 was allocated towards something. If we need something with the ERP, some more additional costs on the ERP side, if we need it or not. I allocated that item in there. Training, we do have some training that I budget for every year. We don't spend the full $1,000, but I keep it in there. And with this ERP system and everything else, I expect that we'll probably use some of that training cost. What's one good thing about our auditors is that they do offer free training, one-day trainings twice a year that I usually attend to get updates on new accounting principles and things like that. So I take advantage of that when I can. So also, like we mentioned before, the lease copiers, even though the cost of the actual lease copiers does not come to my department, but the meter reads, they do. Some meter reads are allocated to some departments like CDBG and things like that, but most of the citywide meter reads come out of my department, so that's what makes up that cost. And then last, now we have this store supplies, and like we mentioned before, this is the catch-all account for office supplies. That we have that general office supply account, and this is what that account represents. So we got some items in there, really like the Office Depot and things like that, Office Max. Also some items for like BJ, Sam's Club. We were using Sam's Club before, but since BJ's warehouse is in Taylor now, we're going to probably no longer use Sam's Club, probably just use BJ's local business. So we're going to switch that over. And then we have miscellaneous for some more memberships for MGFOA, which is the Government Financial Officers Association for Michigan, and a couple other things in there as well too. So that's all my non-personal services items. Is there any questions on those? No? Good. All right. That's all we have then. That's all we have for today.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And again, so for reference, like I said, we'll for the day 2. Did you talk about day 2 being switched?
No, I want to talk while everybody's here. There's a conflict on Wednesday. The Planning Commission has a meeting scheduled for in here, and because these have to be televised, we have to have it out here, and I think it's a little tight in there to have the meetings. So are you guys available on Tuesday to have meeting number 2?
Mr. Chairman, what departments are that, do you recall? I don't have the schedule.
Department 2, or the next meeting would be Planning, Community Development, Court, Library, DPW, and Ordinance Building. I wanted to get with everybody here, and then we could send a message to the departments, as long as, we could maybe, if they couldn't make Tuesday or something.
What time is that planning meeting?
I think at 6 or 7, somewhere in there.
We're still definitely.
And then if she changed it, she has to put it in the newspaper or something. I guess that's the issue or something.
I don't know, it wasn't brought to my attention, so I'm just hearing.
I just found out about it just before the meeting, so there's a possibility if there's not enough people, it may get canceled, so I'm gonna get with Laura more tomorrow to see, because she was gonna make calls tonight or whatever.
We would have to reschedule her meeting, but other than that, yeah, we just need to confirm that the departments, I'm available anyway,
Yeah.
so I'll just leave it to you.
Are you guys okay with Tuesday?
I'll be
Okay.
available. So.
Cindy, you good? Or Cindy, I'm
You don't have to
sorry.
tip the meeting
Angie,
in that,
Caroline, you good with Tuesday? What's that? Okay. So yeah, okay, that's what, I'll get with Laura more tomorrow to see, what's gonna happen. I mean, there's a possibility it might still be on Wednesday, depending, but I wanna get with everybody, so.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. So let's look at possibly Tuesday, and I will confirm with you guys probably by tomorrow on the actual date, so. Thanks everybody for coming, be safe. Thank you, Jason. Bye, Angie, bye, Caroline.